A new Sonic the Hedgehog show is in development. This is not the first, but the second time that Daniel RPK Richtman has brought up this particular project and has specified that it will not be a continuation of Sonic Prime, but a new animated series entirely. So let's theorize and predict what the next new Sonic show could be. We've had a lot of variance when it comes to Sonic animated shows over the past few decades. I will say though, I am shocked that they're immediately moving into the next series so soon after Sonic Prime finished. Ever since X, I feel like we've been pretty conditioned that we always wait a few years before the next show comes out, but it sounds like they moved pretty quickly into immediately doing the next thing or trying something new, which I appreciate. Growing up with Sonic X and having that show be such an integral part of my early years with Sonic, it feels good to have a Sonic show, and I think particularly with X, and I think a lot of the old heads would agree, there's just something about a Sonic anime that would make a lot of sense if that's what this new project ends up being. There's something about X and its style and its tone that just hit a lot of marks for what people really love about Sonic, but also ended up defining a lot of the things that they really love about Sonic. And I think especially in a time where Sonic Team is constantly trying new ways to crack the code to how they make Sonic popular in Japan, I think having a Sonic anime would be a good move to do that. I'd love to see them get a mainline anime studio involved and have a project that goes several years, and I hope that honestly for all of my predictions and theories on what it could be, I hope this is a Sonic show that has some longevity and staying power. I'd like them to buck the trend and have a show that lasts multiple seasons over multiple years and get to tell a story that can leave a positive legacy for the franchise overall. So firstly, like I just mentioned, anime. I am very much down for that. I think there's a lot of reasons why it would make sense. Another option that they could do is have the next show in the Sonic cinematic universe, so the one handled with the Sonic movies and the Knuckles show and everything involved with Paramount, if the next animated show that they wanted to do was for the Sonic cinematic universe. Like if the option is between getting another season of Knuckles or shows that are in that vein and style, or going an animated route and getting to do new and interesting things with the characters and see the adventures they get up to in between movies, I think an animated show would be a really cool way to do that. I'm all for the Sonic cinematic universe expanding into new ideas, and especially for animation and how much Tyson Hesse has been involved with the movies, I am always going to advocate for Tyson Hesse to continue to have great opportunities. And speaking of Tyson Hesse, I'm also wondering if this new show will involve the teams that have been working on the prologue animations. Could we finally see Giggex and Simage Animation get to make something great on par with the style that we saw in Dark Beginnings and the Crossroads animation? Or could Tyson Hesse and Powerhouse team up again, and we get a show that looks like the Knuckles prologue, or even better to me, the Sonic Dream Team opening? Imagine having a Sonic show that has that vibrance and color. Like, I don't even care what the story would be at that point. A Sonic show that looks like that, I would be hard pressed to find anyone who wouldn't want to see that. Another potential option for this show are the IDW comics finally going to get adapted. I feel like this has a lot more momentum than ever now, especially after seeing that Tangle and Whisper are coming to Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Sonic Team has always had this weird thing when it comes to acknowledging comics during the Archie days and the IDW days, where it's kind of in its own realm and has been doing its own thing, but for them to make the call that, yeah, no, we want to bring the comic characters into the games, I think that opens up the door now more than ever for IDW to get a proper animated series, and I would love that, especially because I think with animation, they can get a do-over in a few regards, where in the early years of IDW, there were certain mandates and things in place where characters had to be a certain way and there were things that they couldn't really do, but now they don't have those restrictions anymore. So I think it would be cool if maybe a few revisions could be made to make the Neo Metal arc, to make the Metal Virus arc even better than they already are, as well as having another medium to get all of the great IDW characters out there and introduced to the broader community. I don't really have any personal feelings on whether or not I want an original story, something that's canon, non-canon. I just want it to be great. More than anything, I just want it to be a show that is true to the characters and what they represent, and to give them an adventure and a journey that's worth going on. But let me know down below, what are you most excited to see about the next new animated Sonic TV series? What are the things that you are looking forward to specifically? Give me paragraphs. If you have an entire pitch document for what you'd like to see, let me know down below. I love reading that stuff. I also wanted to add, because it fits the topic, I am currently going through and rewatching all of the Sonic shows. So I am starting with Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and I have the full intention of next year being a year where I get to rewatch every Sonic series and give my review and retrospectives on everything. There's a few shows in that catalog that I haven't watched before, as well as wanting to watch X and Boom again and see how I feel about these shows all these years later. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching. Love y'all. Have a blessed one.